Hello, hello, hello. This is AJT500 slash talented track 98 slash Eloise Wonderwise slash Hilo, and in this video, it's time that I talked about Raziel Summers' weapon, because this is kind of potentially important for the future if you're like super invested in Earth, with Guild War on the horizon. So, if you've been around for a while, you know that I've been very adamant about, well, for one thing, you already know that I probably hate water, or I hated water. I mean, I still hate water, screw water, but um you know that I've been very adamant about not getting like Hraesvelgr and water. With my water biases aside, I just did not want to farm bullets. But now with Raziel Summer literally giving us a knockoff Hraesvelgr with the same bullet slots and everything, it may be time to actually farm bullets. And by may be time, I mean I've started farming bullets. I was kind of persuaded by my crewmate JD, who was asking me about if I had borrowed this weapon yet, and I was like, when I looked at it again, I was like, this could be kind of strong. So I'm gonna try and make this video somewhat short, by my standards at least. But I do want to kind of go through this because I saw some discussion earlier about this weapon versus like hunting and versus specifically Hraesvelgr, because that's like the main one-to-one thing. This is not to say, even if this weapon does become very prolific for Guild War coming up, I am like 98% sure that hunting will still be able to see use in the Guild War, whether it be for full auto or burst. But I do think this weapon has a lot of merits. And as I was mentioning before, I saw some discussion earlier about this weapon in comparison to Hraesvelgr and hunting, and people were saying that this weapon isn't as good as Hraesvelgr, which is true. It's not as good by itself, but through the power of friendship, this weapon can reach Hraesvelgr heights, at least somewhat. So this, by the way, this video is also going to be very speculative heavy because I've not finished my bullets yet. I've not used this weapon yet, and we do not have everything. Everything that's in my head is not actually in the game yet, so I don't know if this is how it's going to go. This is just how I'm thinking things are going to go, just based on what I'm seeing them put into the game. Okay. So the main thing, let's look. I have this weapon and I have Hraesvelgr side by side, right? So if we look, this weapon, for one thing, this weapon has this skill, which, to be honest, I don't. This has two lines of text. I'm assuming that if you double on your double attack, you will get this, and then on your triple attack, you will get this. So I'm guessing if you triple attack, you will get all five. I can't confirm this because I haven't finished this weapon yet. I'm waiting to borrow it until I actually want to use it. But I'm guessing you either, bare minimum, you should get this, assuming you triple attack, right? But I'm guessing that you get five, right? In comparison, Hraesvelgr has what is it? This thing, the normal attack, deal 4 hit. So potentially this is more. Potentially. If you get both of these. If not, then it's one less, which is still pretty close. It's still comparable, right? Now, I'm going to come back to some of this other stuff. I want to compare what they have directly, right? Which I think is actually, I think that's it. So, okay, one other thing is that this weapon does have a mod, right? This weapon does have this mod. It's a medium mod. It's not crazy, but it does have a mod. Granted, this mod can be slightly bigger because you'll be using double Titan once we get Exalto, so you will be getting a little bit more from this. Plus, you'll have the Exalto, to boost it. So this will be kind of good, but it's not crazy, right? Now, next, let's look at what Hraesvelgr has that this weapon doesn't, right? And this is where the power of friendship comes into play, right? So first of all, it has this amplified normal attack damage by 30%, right? Which is pretty big. But we do not have Exalto yet. And we do not have, we're probably not getting Echo Exalto, right? And this is assuming they repeat the Exaltos that are already in the game, which right now we have Echo, we have normal attack damage amp, and we have the crit amp, right? I'm assuming my the thing that's in my head is that Earth is going to get the amplified normal attack, and then water is going to get the crit. I've talked about this multiple times, where I said if they're going to repeat, I said that Earth would probably get the echo or the normal attack amp one, and we didn't get echo because Dark got that one. And now that I've seen that we're potentially repeating the Exaltos, my guess is on normal attack damage amp. That's where my bet is for Earth, right? And if that happens, with the power of friendship, we will get this 30%, because if we go and look at Kaguya-fan, this goes up to 30% when you equip multiple copies. And this has the normal attack damage amp, right? So we will get this, assuming we get a copy of this weapon, or at least we get a copy of this skill, right? For Earth. We will get this, which means that's one thing that makes this weapon closer to Hraesvelgr, right? Then we already talked about the normal attack. I don't know if this is 5 or 3, but it's either better or it's comparable, right? Then we have supplement water ally damage by 100,000, right? Yes, this weapon does not have this, but we have PNS in the game, right? Which means you can use 2 PNS to get this 100 supplemental. Water doesn't use PNS with this weapon because it already has the the cap and the 100%, right? But if we just use double PNS, then we will have this same supplemental, right? Again, 10% boosted damage cap. This will also be made up with PNS, because double PNS will give you 14% damage cap, which means you'll actually have 4% more damage cap than Hraesvelgr gives you, right? And then this hit to multi-attack rate, we just don't have to deal with this, right? We just don't have to deal with this. So pretty much, assuming we get this Exalto, we will be able to make up this Hraesvelgr plus more, because we'll have an extra 4% damage cap instead of this 10. Also, on top of that, we'll also have this that's unique to this weapon that Hraesvelgr doesn't have, where you have this normal attack damage cap right here, and that goes up 7% that you'll have from this weapon as well. So potentially, again, with the power of friendship, if everything goes correctly, we will actually have a slightly better Hraesvelgr than this weapon. Obviously the trade-off is that Hraesvelgr has all this stuff in one weapon, so its grid can be different as opposed to Earth, which will have to have a grid that's built around it, which means obviously you'll have to bar all the other stuff, and it's also still going to be debatable by the time that we get Exalta whether or not we'll be able to burst like Water has, because Raziel is very good, but we still may be lacking characters. The character that comes with Exalta may be super burst heavy. I don't know about that. That's kind of been my guess for a while, is that our Exalta is going to be burst heavy, but then we did get Raziel, so I don't know. But I still think we probably could use another burst character, honestly. But all of that is to say, on face value, this weapon. Also, another thing too, this Ogi is actually kind of good. This Ogi is also kind of good, and I know on a lot of like Mugen burst setups, you will like Ogi. You will use Splitting Spirit, right? You'll use Splitting Spirit to Ogi, so you could Ogi, get this, and then start bursting turn 2. That's another thing that this also has above Hraesvelgr, right? So these are things to think about that we can do. That yellow skill could also play into Raziel if you're using her on the same team, right? So these are things to think about. So on base value for this weapon, yes, it is a knockoff Hraesvelgr, but assuming we get this weapon, we will have all the tools to make this into a better Hraesvelgr. Assuming we get this weapon, we'll have all the tools available to us. Again, the quality of the burst, depending on our characters, may still be worse than Hraesvelgr, but the weapon itself will be up there. So, all that is to say, if you're super invested in Earth, you may want to start farming bullets. And that's the reason why I kind of want to do this video now, because you still have another 2 months to farm bullets, and you really don't want to be caught lacking right at Guild War if you want to set up for this, right? You want to start farming bullets now. I'm starting to farm bullets now. It's freaking annoying as crap. I hate farming bullets. It's so bad. It's so bad, dude. Who thought this was a good idea? But yeah, it's bad. But if you wanted to do it, now's the time, right? So these are things to think about. So what I want to go through now is I want to go through kind of some of the potential grids we could see in the future. Again, this is theory crafting, so it's just going to be rambly, but I do have kind of a plan of what I already set up something. So I'm going to swap over to that now. Okay. So let's look at this setup, right? So this is what I have, basic of basics, right? And this is actually kind of interesting because this brings into question the question that's been on every Earthmain's mind for a while, ever since Exalto's come out and we started to get used to it, is are we going to start dropping Galleon staves, right? So the setup that I have right now, you could put 2 Exaltos here, which means I don't know how much amp you would have with 2 of these. I guess it would be 20, right? Because it's 30 with 3. Yeah, so it would be 20. So you'd have 20 amp instead of 3. Now the thing about it is I don't know if you can. Oh wait, do we have a calculator here? Hey yo, do we have a calculator here? Wait, can I show how many of these are? I don't know how to show. I don't know how to count how many. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna just say 20, right? I'm gonna just say 20. Maybe what I'm trying to think of is I don't know if you can hit 30% of this with only 2. You may be able to with your dragon, your prime mark, the new boosted summons. You may be able to. I don't know. For this amp, potentially, right? But this is just assuming 2, right? For this grid right here. So this is what I would think the grid would look like, right? This is what the grid, and these open spots would just be the Exalto. Now another thing that you could do is you could drop a Galleon staff, right? You could drop a Galleon staff, and now you have something like this instead, where you have 3 Exalto down here. Now, on top of this, what you could go even further is you could continue with 3 Exalto and drop another Galleon staff. And now you could go 3 Exalto and have 1 slot right here, right? So you could go because the one thing that we have good about this weapon is we don't have to worry about any crazy stuff where it's like we have to have 4 staffs or we have to have 4 katanas or whatever, like in Dark, right? We don't have to have 4 of anything. Well, we have to have 3 of something, but it has to be the exact same weapon, right? So that's like our double-edged sword. It has to be 3 of the exact same weapon, but it only has to be 3, right? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword where we kind of get like an extra grid slot here, potentially, because we can have this 1 Galleon staff here, and then we could just put something like, I don't know, maybe like a King Tana or something right here, right? Just for some extra damage. So this is the type of grid we could be working with. And the reason I also brought up this for on advanced grids, again, Umiken makes this, and DY helps, and I'm sure other people help. But this is Umiken's baby. Once again, I said it multiple times. Advanced grids on the wiki. This is something that like water runs, and I know sometimes they'll run like 4 Wombrellas. And the thing about it is, I bring this up because because we have to use other grid pieces to really double PNS. And then assuming the Exalto is like this, just the Exalto, but we're going to use the Exalto anyway, right? So it's really double PNS. We need to bring double PNS to match Hraesvelgr's stuff, right? But the rest of these slots, pretty much these 2 slots and maybe this slot are kind of open for grabs. So again, I forgot about this weapon. You could throw this in for the last slot instead of double King Tana. So you could have 3 Exalto down here and then have the world harp right here instead, right? So these are types of grids that you could have with this type of setup. So what I'm trying to get at with I just hit my hand on my desk. what I'm trying to get at with all of this, right, is that this could be very powerful, because again, as long as we get this weapon, which I don't want to get anyone's hopes up, but I'm I was telling some of my friends at the crew chat, I think it was Woomy and JD, where I was like, I'm only thinking happy thoughts about our Exalto. I'm not thinking about CA damage amp. I'm not thinking about skill damage amp. I'm thinking about only happy thoughts. And my happy thought right now, assuming we don't get Echo, my happy thought is this Shrieking skill. This is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at. Right? And assuming we get that, we have the tools to make this weapon work pretty freaking well, unironically. It could be really good. And assuming we get another burst character with the Exalto that can go with like Raziel, you know, it could be unironically really freaking good. You know, because the thing about it is we still, you know, suffice it to say, we still do have freaking Uriel, who Uriel can work with, you know, this is like a unique Echo. He also has all this stuff for like amp. He has 3 red skills, which is important for Raziel, right? We also have Olivia, if you can pull off any crazy stuff with her. We also still have Cheeking Ilnot that we could pull out. I don't know where the heck Ilnot. We have Dante, unironically. We have Dante, who has like this unique Cheeking Echo too. We have a lot of stuff. And the other thing too is Raziel is, well, I guess Raziel kind of doesn't matter because she's just subject to like everything, right? With this bottom passive, she's subject to everything. So you can put stuff, but she's also gun, so she's gonna match MC regardless. So it doesn't really matter. But yeah, those are a lot of potential things that are coming up, right? There's also the potential in the future that we get, well, it's not even potential, it's just a win we get the Celestial gun as well. Could also go with this type of setup, right? So there's a lot of things to think about with this weapon. And I think this weapon is going to be very powerful. I really do. I think it's going to be very powerful. Knock on wood. You hear that? Knock on wood. This weapon and Raziel might be the start of Earth starting to get burst. It's still whack as crap, I'm going to tell you, because seeking... The one thing, see, the crazy thing about Raziel, I didn't put this in my initial impressions, right? The crazy thing about Raziel is, I remember in my Uriel rant, obviously I famously ranted about the Keeking red skills, right? And they were like, yeah, screw this guy, give him red skills again. But I also did mention that I was really freaking annoyed that Uriel had like nothing. Like no text, nothing. And then I looked at Zeta, and Zeta has like all this text. She has all these mechanics. And Raziel, even though her stuff is kind of whack, she does have a lot of stuff going on in her kit. She has a lot of mechanics, and she also has just a lot of like buffs. Because like let's go back and look at Raziel herself, right? Now that we have numbers and stuff. Because, by the way, I haven't really used this character, right? I want to ring her. I'm going to ring her in the future, by the way. I just want to use her like once before I ring her. But I want to ring her, right? I'm going to ring her in the future. But I haven't gotten a chance to use her because I've been playing Dawn Trail, right? I haven't been on this game that much. But Raziel, her numbers are out, right? And this is obviously like Percival. It's also like she can all in on. Granted, you need all this stuff, but she can broken with this skill. This skill is ridiculous. But also, this I had talked about how I wanted this to be 100% triple attack. It's not 100% triple attack, but look at the numbers. 50% triple attack and 20% bonus damage. This is really strong. Also, this earth attack. All this is really strong for everybody else. And I say everybody else. Why? Because once Raziel gets Sheeking 10 of the Flavum, she gets 100% triple anyway. So she's good. She's fine. She's fine. Like she's good. She's just helping everybody else. And honestly, a lot of your other characters can benefit a lot from this 50% triple, because there's a lot of setups where, especially like Uriel, right? There's a lot of setups where it's very hard to get Uriel to 100% triple attack, but he would benefit greatly from 50% extra. Like, oh my god, because a lot of times, sometimes you'll use like Sheeking for your summon, right? You'll use where is it? Mammoth, right? You'll use Mammoth Call just to get triple attack, right? But now with Raziel, you don't even really need this, right? Like, so now you can use a different summon. So she's really powerful. The thing we need now is we just need someone to take out, Christmas Normaya. That's what I'm hoping comes with the Exalta, is the Christmas Normaya killer. We need, like, we had the support, and we also have MC who's strong with hunting plus potentially soldier, right? We just need an extra, like, assassin character. We need somebody who just does stupid damage, just dumb. Like, we need like a Zeta. We need like a Zeta who just does stupid damage just for free. That's what we need, and we're good. We're good at that point. We're good, assuming they don't have any cheeking stupid passives. But we're good, right? So again, these are promising times. They look like, again, knock on wood, you hear that? Knock on wood. I'm praying that they're trending in the right direction to give Earth some burst, right? But it starts with this weapon. It starts with Raziel, right? Again, like I said at the start, I don't think this is going to phase out hunting. Hunting Glorybringer is still ridiculously stupid, but I think this is a very good alternative and potentially better in some situations, right? So, if you are an Earth main, this is the call out post to potentially start farming your bullets, because this could be cheeking useful. This could be useful. So, I think that's kind of all I got for this video. I really just want to do like a PSA for Earth players, because I feel like people are underselling this weapon without realizing that we can easily catch up to Hraesvelgr as long as we get this, which I think is a very high likelihood that we get this, because it just makes sense. It just makes sense. But it could be all wrong. I could be all wrong. But that's just my thoughts. That's what's in my head right now, right? So I think that's it. I think that's all I got. That's kind of that's it. So I'm gonna stop going in circles. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Okay, very, very small addendum. This isn't even like crucial information or anything, but I do want to show, because I noticed while I was watching the video back, I said that I was farming bullets, but you see my mats. Ooh, 2 of these. You can, yikes, dude. I'm getting pretty close to these. These are almost done, unironically. But I just want to show you my current progress on these bullets, right? Because what I did is I made some bullets so that I could calculate the rest of them easier. So right now I have 6, right? And I don't have this bullet yet. I'm doing like some full auto for Super Ultimate Bomb, which surprisingly works pretty well. It's from Kuwataro, or however you say his name. I'll actually put that in the description for any other Earth players that want to full auto this raid. But yeah, I need to get these mats back up, because I haven't been playing this game, and I use these for like keys and whatever. But I need to get this. So I have pretty much I have this bullet locked in, and I have one of these bullets locked in. Right, and I'm going for both of these, for 5 of both of these, so I need another 4 of these, and then I need 5 of these, right? And these pretty much, I'm going down this list. I'm gonna finish this, then these, then this, then this, then this, and then I'm gonna go and do these, because these kind of take a little bit more brain power. I already have burst setups for both of these, because I essentially already farmed these bullets worth of mats when I was doing my opuses. So I already have setups for both of these. So they're not going to be too bad. It's just I have to look for raids, and then I have to join raids, and then I have to do my burst setup, right? Whereas these, it's literally just seeking semi-auto. Okay, redo the quest. Semi-auto. For each stage, right? So I'm going to finish these first, and then I'm going to do these. But just to show that yes, I am actually, I'm not just speaking about this gun and telling you guys to go do it. I'm out here in the streets too. I'm working on these bullets. So I have 2 bullets essentially finished right now. Well, this one isn't finished yet because I don't have these, but this one will be finished once I finish this. But yeah, so I have 2 bullets finished, and I need another 9. Jesus Christ, dude, it's freaking garbage. So bad. But yeah, okay, that's all I have for Addendum. I just wanted to show my progress with it as well. So that's all. I'll see you in the next one, and bye bye.